My ambition moment. My ambition moment. My ambition moment. My ambition. Yes, welcome back to my ambition moments. It's your girl Tiffany. Yes, I love it. Look, I'm at that stage in my life. I don't care. I just like to have fun. I like to, kind of like gas myself up. I'm like, yes, Tiffany, you're the one. Tiffany, you're the one. Anyway, I think you know what, life's too short, and if you don't love yourself and embrace yourself and give yourself the love that you expect from other people, then you might be wasting a long time. So anyway, I had a funny situation happen to me at the shops yesterday. I'm currently on my period, which I can't believe I'm even sharing with you guys. I used to be so embarrassed about things like that, and I'm not even sure why. But anyway, I'm on my period, and yesterday at the shop, so I used to have normal periods, right? But I have noticed, I will say this very quickly, post children, my periods are just a lot more intense, and this is something that I probably need to speak to a doctor about. I was doing a bit of research, and found out that this is quite normal for a lot of women, which again is another change you don't expect, right? After children, like pre-children, my periods has been normal. I used to be one of those people that be like, oh, I'm on my period, yeah, I'm just gonna go for a walk and live my best life. And now my period, I'm like, and this time around, my period has been awful. I mean, I'm getting intense headaches. I'm just feel awful, so I do need to see the doctor. But anyway, normally I wear pads and I'm fine. Normal flow. Yesterday at the shops, wearing a pad, doing what I normally do. Suddenly, I just feel a gush go down my legs, and yes, of course, my periods have gone everywhere, my legs. So I had to beg the lady at the shop and say, "Excuse me, I really need to use toilets." She said, "It's not for customers." I was like, "Girl, I got stuff going on." She was like, "Okay, we'll make an exception." I was so grateful. But I thought in that moment, it got me thinking about like embarrassment. And normally that's the sort of thing that would make me feel so embarrassed. But yesterday, I mean, I was shocked. I was a bit like, oh, now I've got to walk across the shop to the shopping center, to the other shopping center toilet. But I actually didn't feel the embarrassment that I used to and would have expected to feel. And I was so grateful and glad for that. And to me, that's progress. I really think it's motherhood. I think for women, motherhood throws you into the unknown. It throws you into this life where you're not prepared for. You think you're prepared, you will never be prepared for, by the way. Um, it exposes you to things that you never thought you'd be capable of doing. And when you see yourself do those things, you realize that maybe you do sweat the small stuff. Maybe you do need to relax a bit. Maybe it's not that serious. And I think mother is actually lowering my threshold for what embarrasses me or what makes me feel like awkward. And I'm really glad for that. I mean, number one, periods. I mean, I don't think I've ever spoken about periods publicly. I used to, like hide periods and not want to get involved in period conversations. But this is something that happens to every woman. And I have a daughter. She's going to eventually have a period. What am I going to do? I don't want her to think it's this secretive, weird thing because I never had anyone talk to me about my period. I didn't have a mom growing up, so I didn't necessarily have a main woman like in my life that was guiding me and telling me about these things that women go through. And I want to be that to my daughter. So as soon as possible, I'm going to talk to her about periods and tell her it's normal. Do not be embarrassed. Everyone gets it. We got blood going everywhere. I think the more you normalize and make fun out of these things, women more less women and less girls will be embarrassed. And I just think how crazy is it that periods is something that makes women feel embarrassed when it's something that happens to them and they don't actually control it. But yeah, that's something I'm glad now that I don't care about talking about. Like I was actually telling everyone, I was like, oh my God, guess what happened to me yesterday? My period. Anyway, which is nice. Good. I know you're like, okay, Tiffany, shut up about your period. Thank you. All right. But yeah, I think it's the confidence. I think it's, I think for me, it's going back to that moment. The starting moment for me was that moment where after I gave him birth, this male consultant came in and he was like sewing me up. It was just in my, it was like, oh, this consultant's going to come and sew you up. And I was expecting a woman to come in. It was a man. He came in, went down to my nether regions and he was sewing me up. It was at that moment I thought, this is so embarrassing. But then a few minutes later, when I was tired, I just wanted to be okay. I just wanted to not feel so much pain. I think you realize that who cares? So I think motherhood, giving birth, how many people come into the room, getting touched down there, being children pull out of you. It lowers your threshold for what's embarrassing and why should you be embarrassed about your own body? And it's something I'm really grateful for because I think it's something that held me back for so long, that consciousness or, easily embarrassed feeling. Because I think we spend so much time been so worried about what people think of us, what we think of ourselves, that we waste time. I think it's just waste time. Waste time to get having fun, waste time to be in your authentic self, waste time to actually doing the things that matter and putting yourself out there. So for me nowadays, I'm all about lowering the threshold for embarrassment and just having more fun and feeling more free. And I think we told you guys recently as well about the swim we did at the sea, where we were with 500 other naked people, and that was fun. I think again, that's again lowering the threshold. For me, it's all about this confidence. Especially as I raise my daughter, I want to feel good about myself. I want to be able to not feel deeply self-conscious about things I don't need to feel deeply self-conscious about. Everybody has a body, everybody has breasts, everybody has private parts, and why are we so embarrassed about these things that we just are and we have? And why do we allow them to hold us back? I mean, I'm not planning to be a nudist or anything, but I certainly feel like I just feel a lot more comfortable in myself. I mean, another thing I do now is, when I was a lot younger, changing rooms used to scare me. Like in school, you will not believe this. This is why I didn't do PE in school. I used to hate PE and drama because we had to get changed. Come on. Like, how sad is that? And I could have been excellent in PE. I'm very sporty, very athletic. I could have been a good runner. I'd always loved going to gym. But if I didn't have that consciousness around getting change with the other girls in the changing room, what people might think was looking at me, I would have done more sports wise, and I would have discovered so much more about myself. I could have been a runner right now, could be a professional. I would have been a professional some sort of sports, because like I said, I have such a high threshold for doing like sports, and I have a lot of stamina, a lot of discipline, consistency around that. But because I was so embarrassed about being in the changing room, I just avoided PE and I avoided drama, and I just hated it. And I look at my life and I think, what was the point of that? So the more I look at my daughter, I know from early on I want a body to be a normal thing to her. Obviously, I want her to have some, like modesty, but I don't want to go around, showing off her body or anything. But I just want her to feel confident in herself. I want to know that we all have a body, we all have private parts. When you're in a woman's changing room, just change. I used to hide in the cubicle. Now I just change in the changing room. I just change like a normal person. I just stand there and I get change. I take my knickers off, I take my bra off, and it's okay. Like, nobody cares. And I think it's so sad when women just develop this consciousness that just holds them back. And I think the more I see myself being more confident in myself, in my body, the more I'm able to exercise this confidence in the world. Have this podcast, which in a way makes you feel like you're exposing yourself to the world, you're exposing your thoughts. People are looking at you going, who do you think you are to have a podcast? Those are the thoughts that maybe used to exist in the back of my head, but now I just don't care, because I'm like, if anyone wants to listen, they will listen. If they don't, they won't. And maybe my kids will listen when they're growing up, or maybe I'll listen to my own podcast. You know what? I'm recording it for myself. But yeah, I definitely think it's that threshold and what motherhood does to chip that away. And if that is you, I mean, think about the moments and the things you find yourself doing as a mother that you never thought you could do. Looking after children, raising them, the sacrifice we do for them, the way we juggle our lives and our own, sort of sanity and joy and drive and ambition with their lives and their education and their growth. We do so much. And I think if we really pay attention to how this is shaping and molding us and how it is helping us to grow, I think we would be able to move mountains. I really do think it's a superpower in motherhood. And I think we just need to lean into that and listen to that and pay attention. The more you pay attention to what this is doing to you and doing for you, the more you realize that actually it's a multiplier. So yeah, that's why I've arrived. Period, leaks and all. So there you go. Thanks for listening to my chat about my period. Now, yeah, there you go. Thank you, everyone. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and remember, you've got this. I know it's still Easter break, so try and keep your sanity. Try and go for a walk. Remember, you're doing your best. You really are. We all are. All right. Thank you so much, guys. And I will see you on the next one. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this, like, share, comment, come and meet us on LinkedIn. I just love getting comments about my ambition, because it really is a life work. And I'm really excited about the women we're yet to speak to, the women we're yet to meet. And if that's you, then come and find us. All right. Take care.